Hello, everyone. Oh, I got to do my official announce. And it goes, here we go. This is like old school announcing the show. Here we go. Just stand by. This is important. And now, the cleanest hour in podcasting. This is the Housekeepers Podcast. Yay, me. Look at you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Housekeepers Podcast. It guaranteed to be the cleanest hour in podcasting. I got to tell you, I am so super excited for today's show. I'm excited just to be doing this show and meeting such amazing people all the time. And this guy is no exception. This is Pankaj. Did I say it right?
Right,
Pankaj?
right, Ralph.
Pankaj Behl. Pankaj Behl. And you're in India right now, so it's way late in the afternoon for you. What is it, 5:30? What time is it where you are?
Yeah, it's 5:30 p.m. It's 5:30 p.m.
It is 8 a.m. here in New York City in the United States. And so what a fantastic time to be alive, being able to communicate with people all over the world. Isn't this fantastic?
It is.
I think
it is.
And you, my friend, do not. I have been accused of this myself. You do not look like a housekeeping manager.
So I think it's more related to skills rather than carrying a face which looks like a housekeeper. So it's more to do with skills, Ralph.
Yeah, no question.
And I'm sure you are.
You go ahead.
You are a much more skilled person than what we are. You have humongous experience with you, and it's a pleasure to have a conversation with you in with regards to housekeeping.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm very excited too. I would love to, because and just because I really don't know a lot. Actually, let me start this. Let me say this. Hold on. I have this. I was doing some research. I wanted to find out, because I don't know anything about what it's like to grow up in India, and I'm super interested to find out where you came from, what life was like growing up, and your education, and how you got into the cleaning business, because I think it's so fascinating. But listen to this quote that I found about growing up in India, and you tell me if this is accurate, because if it is, I mean, I'm ready to pack my bags. It sounds fantastic. It is this. It says, growing up in India is... You might live in any part of the world, but no country can live up to the charm and teach as many things as this wonderful land. It teaches you compassion, diversity, passion, culture. In short, it teaches you the essence of life.
You are bang on. This is absolutely right with regards to our country. It is very, very diverse. We have so many languages, so many cultures within one country that it's really diverse. But we all are very well integrated, and it's a diverse country. You're absolutely right.
It sounds fantastic. I did have a few years ago, I had a friend of mine on the show from India. Her name was Priyanki. And she too talked about just how fantastic it was growing up in India and around such a diverse, there's so many differences, and yet everybody's just going on their day-to-day, getting along, living their lives. It's so fantastic.
It is no doubt. I'm. If I talk about myself, I am born and brought up in Delhi, which is the capital of India, and whether you talk about any field, be it technology, be it agriculture, India is spearheading in all the fields. We are very well known to outsource technology. So we have big IT companies, who are assisting all over the world.
Yeah, no question. So let's back up. So you grew up in New Delhi.
Yeah.
And so talk about growing up in New Delhi. Do you have brothers, sisters?
Yep. So I have my mom and dad. So my dad has been a businessman. He has been dealing with perishable goods like wheat, grain, flour, all of that. And he has been a wholesaler, and he deals in that. My mom has been a housewife. She has been a pillar of strength in my life. She
Nice.
has motivated me, and constantly supported me to reach where I've reached today. I also have an elder sister who is a banker by profession. She is in fact she has done her MBA also, and she's working as a banker. She's settled in Costa Rica, if you know,
Yeah, yeah.
in yeah, North America.
Hmm.
So
South
I have
America.
my wife. Yeah, I have my wife who is a teacher by profession.
And
So
you're newlyweds, right? You're only like 6 months. Is that right?
sorry.
You're a newlywed. You
Yeah,
just got
exactly,
married.
exactly, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It's just been
Congratulations.
6 months. Right.
Congratulations. Good for you.
Thank you so much, Ralph.
And so you only have an older sister, so there's just the two of you.
Yeah, just the two of us.
And were you close to your sister growing up?
Uh, yeah, we both are very close to each other, and she being elder to me, she has been another pillar of strength to me, and she assisted me in my studies. Wherever I needed her support, she was always there. So that is there is a lot of respect for her.
It's 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 not unusual when you start learning somebody's backstory. Like your dad is a businessman, your dad already is in the business of, especially like you said, perishable goods. That's you either make the sale or you lose your ability to sell the product because it goes bad. I mean, that's a tough racket. And so you have that, then you have a strong mom, you have a strong sister. No wonder you're successful, right? I mean, you have good stuff. You come from a good place.
Thank you so much. And apart from this, I think God has been really kind. We all are followers of God, and we believe in Him a lot. So it has been Him, as well as the support of your family makes you even stronger. So all of that contributes to your life, to your success, and that has been the success story for me as well.
Yeah, no question. I'm completely on the same page as that. Let's talk about schooling. So, as I understand it, there's did you go to public school or private school? Because I know that there's a big distinction here, right?
So that there is basically public school which is run by government, and a private school which is of course run by different entities. So I have done my schooling from private schools. So I changed my schools twice. So initially, like, I studied from ASN Senior Secondary School. Later on, I also studied in Vanasthali Public School, and I had a commerce background, commerce with maths. So I'm a commerce guy, not a science guy. I was never good in science. So I completed my schooling in the year 2010, and then it was like I was exploring. At that point of time, I thought whether I should join my father's business, or probably I should go for some professional course. Uh, so I was puzzled at that point of time, but all credit goes to my one of my uncle, who was a counselor in one of the leading institutes of hotel management in Gwalior, which is a place in India. So he told me about the prospects of hospitality, which were very bright at that point of time, because in this 2007, when I was finished with my schooling, we were expecting Commonwealth Games to happen in our country in the year 2010.
So you're
So
expecting a lot of tourism, a lot of people
exactly,
coming in, right? Hmm.
tourism was gonna go to its peak. So
Hmm.
there were a lot of opportunities coming up in that you know field, and I was
Hospitality field.
in hospitality, right?
Yeah.
So he only, in fact, motivated me that why don't you go with and do hotel management. Then I started exploring. I got to know, okay, five-star hotels with four core operations: front office, housekeeping, food and beverage, kitchens. So I started thinking, will I be good in kitchens? Will I be good in front office or housekeeping? Or I am gonna become a F&B guy? So it was very, very exciting, no doubt about it. And once I appeared for the examination, which happens on a national level here in India, I secured a good rank. Probably my commerce background helped me in clearing that examination.
So hold on, let me understand this. So in order to graduate, you take a national exam, and then you're ranked. Is that
Yeah,
accurate?
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So
And
there
then
is
wherever you're ranked, pardon me, wherever you're ranked, does that kind of open or close doors for you? Like you have more opportunity the higher you're ranked, and less opportunity the lower you're ranked?
you actually got a good college. Based on your rank,
Got
you
it.
are asked to opt for the colleges which are listed in that council. And if the seats are already filled for the colleges which are very much popular in demand, and so you get the second better or the third better college to
Got it.
opt for. Just because I had a very decent rank, I could opt for a college which is based in Chandigarh. Chandigarh is in Punjab state.
Is
So
that north of you? Where is that in relation to New Delhi?
sorry.
Where did you go? Where is that geographically? Oh, in relation to New Delhi? Is it north?
It's in north, right?
North. Yeah. Okay. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So then I opted for Dr. Ambedkar Institute of Hotel Management, Chandigarh, where I got selected based on my rank, and then I joined there for a 3-year graduation course.
And what did you get a degree in?
So the degree is Bachelor of Science in Hospitality and Hotel Administration.
Nice.
This
Perfect.
is given this is given by National Council for Hotel Management, Catering and Technology. This is the national council which gives you the degree.
So great. And so where was your first job? Like what did you start right out? Were you still thinking cleaning, or were you thinking front end, hotel management? What were you thinking? Like what was the role initially?
Yes, so that's an interesting story. In fact, when I joined the college, because I was in the first year, yeah, I actually got introduced to the four core competencies, in hotels, the four different departments, and then in the second year, we had to undergo an industrial training for half an year
Yeah,
in
so
one
hold
of
on, hold on. I just want to unpack this because it's so interesting to me. So when you go into the hotel industry, you have to kind of make your way around. You have to learn front end. You have to learn the housekeeping side. Maybe you're learning the food and beverage side. Is that
right.
accurate? Like you have to learn all of it. Okay, that makes sense.
Exactly. Right. So we had to do our training in all the four departments, which
Mhm.
was front office, food and beverage, housekeeping, and kitchens, food production. So I have in my industrial training, I did that in one of the leading five-star hotels, which was ITC Maurya in New Delhi itself. So there, if I have to tell you, in my front office, tenure, I worked as a bellboy. I was a doorman as well. I was a security guard.
You got to do it all, right? Little technical difficulty. It looks like he froze up there for a quick second here. No worries. I'm sure he'll be right back. This is all the way from India to the United States. So it's be patient, my friends. So great stuff. I met Pankaj. He was listening to the podcast and he had reached out and was telling me his story. We had a conversation prior to this, and I was like, I need to have you on the show because it's so interesting. I really enjoy the professionalism that he brings to the cleaning industry. And you'll find out he works in a 5-star hotel right now and is the executive housekeeper. And so we're just trying to, he'll be right back. We're just trying to figure out, or we're just getting to his story about how he went from Yeah, let me change my little banner so it doesn't look like I'm in two places at once. There we go. He is just telling that oh, here he is. He'll be telling the story.
Yeah.
Hello. There you are.
Sorry.
No worries. No worries. No worries. Happy to have you back. I was just telling the audience, I was just telling everybody that how we had initially met and how excited I am to learn about this next part, which is you're going around, you're the bellhop, you're the door guy, right? Like you're doing all those jobs. So keep going from there.
Right. So in front office, I did those jobs, and in kitchens. In fact, I was also standing in the live kitchen in the coffee shop of ITC Moria, and I was making pancakes for the guests. So it's actually called appam. It's a pancake from South India.
So what's in this? What is it called? It's a bum?
Appam, exactly.
And it's a pan. I'm gonna need the recipe. I'm gonna have to try this.
Yeah, I'll share that with you.
So what is it? What is it? What is a bum? What does it look like? Does it look like a pancake?
Yeah, it is a pancake. It's called appam. It's basically originated from South India, Kerala. So that's how the name came. It's made of rice batter.
Oh,
So
what do you
so
put on
that
it? Do you put syrup on it or jelly or anything like that? Butter? What do
coconut,
you?
it has that coconut mix in it.
Oh well, now you're talking. Now you're talking. I'm a big fan. All right,
So
so
I
you're
remember,
making
yeah.
so you're making those.
Yeah, I made those initially. I was when this job was given to me, I was very nervous because I never thought that I'll be a good chef. But I still remember. I think one of the best appreciation which I got was guests coming and asking me for appam, and then they said thank you, chef. So chef word is so sounds so good. So now, when I'm into housekeeping, I'm good to be known as a housekeeper. But one of the one of those old times when I got praised for being a good chef.
It's like being called a boss, right? It's just being recognized for your ability to take the lead.
Exactly.
So great. So there's nothing better in the whole world than being in charge. Like, taking on the responsibility and being recognized for it. Totally appreciate that.
Right. So in housekeeping, if I talk about, I remember the first room associate who was my buddy, with whom I was attached. His name was Jacob, and very nice guy. He taught me how to make beds, how to clean bathrooms, how to clean WC. I really admire him, and he was the first person who actually taught me the practical version of making a room.
Nice.
So then gradually I started learning, okay, vacuum cleaner, how to do vacuuming, what is turn down service, how do you do turn down service. While I was there, in public area, we did turnarounds of banquet. So turnaround word I got familiar with, what is turnaround, so it was very beginning, and from the very scratch that I started learning there. And good thing was I used to take it very seriously. Whenever I got done with work, I come back home, I used to make notes. I always had a diary. I used to make notes, and then I used to also write down the questions which the very next day I used to go back and ask from the housekeeper herself, or the managers. I used to do a lot of I used to have a lot of conversations with the management trainees there in ITC as well, ITC Moria. So they also used to interact. They always liked it. They always appreciated that I used to approach them and then ask them different questions. So I was very inquisitive, and I wanted to learn. And gradually, while completing my training, uh, I ended up thinking that I'm good in two departments, either in front office or in housekeeping. But somewhere, I have always been a creative person, and always look to explore more and more and do a lot of creative stuff. So I thought housekeeping is better for me, and somewhere my heart and my passion was more inclined towards it.
You have such a great story. I think that you just kind of gave away the secret. There's a little bit of a secret in there that a lot of people don't take advantage of, and they don't even realize. And you probably, maybe you don't know how important what you did because you just did it instinctively. But the idea that you didn't leave your job at home, I mean, leave your job at work. A lot of people, they end the day and that's it. As soon as they leave the hotel, as soon as they leave work, they don't think about it anymore. And you didn't. You were like going home, you're taking notes, and you're like, how could I have done that better? I wonder how that works. Or what's the outcome going to be like? And that self-reflection coupled with your desire to be better at your job is the secret. I mean, if you could bottle that up, that's another thing I would want to put on my shelf, my leadership shelf. If I'm collecting bottles of gems here, that is fantastic. And I bet that's when you're looking for people to grow in, you want people to become the next leaders, the people next leaders in your industry. That's what you look for. People who have been thinking all night about that. Come in the morning and you're like, I was thinking last night about the job. I'm like, what? Love that. Love that.
Thank you so much, Ralph. So I think that only helped me, succeed. Once I came back to my college, and this was our second year of college when we are supposed to go for industrial training. Once I finished that, we have to submit our project, and then talk about our industrial training. There is a session conducted, on that, and based on which we are also marked. So the marking system is, there all the time. Once I came back, I realized that I should be participating more in, few areas which are related to housekeeping. For example, I'll tell you, there used to be, a flower arrangement competition in our hotel, college.
A flower arrangement competition?
Yes, a flower arrangement competition.
I'm just making sure I'm hearing it. Yeah, good. Okay.
So where 25 colleges, within Chandigarh city used to participate. So it was a, very, very big function which used to happen. And I participated in that and I got second position there.
Wow. Really?
Exactly. So even I did not realize that it was a great feat which I achieved, and I took a lot of pride in that, saying that it was actually remarkable, and I didn't realize that I actually achieved it at that point of time, because there were a lot of colleges which were only focusing more on flower arrangements who were participating in the same competition, and I actually got that position. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So this kept on inclining, me more towards housekeeping gradually. And in my college library, there was not even a single book which I had not read about housekeeping. Not just housekeeping. I think as to be a good manager, if you look on a longer vision, if you carry a longer vision, you have to have a good knowledge of what's happening around you. So I used to read at least 5 newspapers on a daily basis that point of time, and especially the editorial columns in detail, which also enhance my general knowledge, which enhance my capability of discussing any sort of topic, and which gave me an extra edge while I was appearing for campus interviews, in my college. And you have to go through certain rounds, clear few rounds to finally succeed and become a management trainee, like group discussions, personal interviews, wherein you are asked different sort of questions. So I was preparing for that entire third year, and finally succeeded when I could achieve housekeeping executive trainee position with the Leela Group of Hotels.
So let me unpack this just a little bit. So you're saying that you couldn't find any material really on leadership training, especially in housekeeping. Is that accurate?
Yeah, at that point of time, I think the technicals with regards to housekeeping was there. The books, the material was there, but
Mhm.
somebody books with regards to the housekeeping management, more management aspect were missing, no doubt.
You know what? That's so interesting because I found the same thing here in the US. I was at the same time, we're talking what, 2007, 2008?
2010, I
Yeah.
graduated. Yeah.
Yeah. I had the same issue where I too was looking for, because I was training managers, housekeeping managers, brand new housekeeping managers. And I remember that's why I started this podcast, just to open up a dialogue, to have a conversation about what it's like to manage in housekeeping, because I couldn't find anything either. I couldn't find anything either. Like nobody had written down, taken the time to go, you know what, housekeeping management is a unique skill set, requires a unique skill set. We are faced with unique problems. One of my all-time favorite giveaways or takeaways from a hotel, and many people don't understand it, they don't see it. Maybe your hotel has the same thing, where on somewhere in a room in a hotel, there is a card or a little tent card or something, and it says, "We hope that your stay here is magnificent. And if it isn't, if you need anything, call housekeeping." And to me, it makes my heart sing because it doesn't say call the front desk. It doesn't say call the concierge. It doesn't say call the owner of the hotel. It says call housekeeping. You know why? Because housekeeping can make your stay amazing.
Exactly.
So great.
No doubt about it. I think even when it comes to providing soft touches to any guest, I being a housekeeper, I always try to connect with the guest in the best possible way. So we used to do paper origamis for our guests
Love it.
in the hotel and leave a note with it. Sometimes your childhood memories are also attached with few things. We used to do a nice paper origami, on that, leave a note, and the guests used to like it so much. Towel art definitely exists. All everyone does that. uh, the leaf art is there, which is a beautiful art, can be done. So all those soft touches, I think, also makes you connect in a better way with the guests.
You know, that man, you, when I think of soft touches, I think of turn down service, right? Turn down service is just one of the greatest, nicest. You come home, or you come back to your hotel room after a long day of exploring and learning and tasting and experiencing. To have the turn down service with the little chocolates, I mean, is there anything better, right? But but you just touched on something that I think I would have always overlooked. I would not have realized how significant it is, and that is you make an origami paper, which is different from an origami towel, because the guests don't take the towel home, but they can take the origami paper home. And so it becomes a keepsake, a reminder of the hotel and of the experience of the vacation. That's brilliant. That's really, really brilliant. Really great.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ralph. So, talking about my journey from where I started, it was so my first hotel was the Leela Mumbai. Mumbai is the financial capital of India, if you know.
Mhm.
And my
So
first hotel was, yeah,
isn't Mumbai way south of you? Where's Mumbai to you? Is it, what am I thinking of? I'm just trying to think of geographically. I'm just trying to keep it all in
it's
my head.
it's west. It's west.
Oh, okay.
So, that was my first hotel, and we had the Leela Academy of Learning there as well.
I'm sorry, you had what?
An academy of learning for the
Oh, okay,
housekeeping
great.
executive trainee.
I
So,
love that title, Academy of Learning.
so we were also being trained. We were also given classroom training as well as practical exposure within the hotel. And after a certain period of time, we had to opt for another hotel for another exposure in a different hotel within Leela Group. So I came and joined Leela Gurugram, which is in within Delhi NCR region itself.
Okay.
So in Leela Gurugram, I for the first time came across the apartment concept, the residencies which were there. So for long stay guests, especially, wherein we had different room categories: one BHK, two BHK, three BHK apartments for so many long stay who used to stay with us. So it had a nice kitchen, dishwasher, a bigger living room area, so that you feel home away from home.
And
So
do you guys have the process, or is it so? In my experience with the long stays, they don't provide daily housekeeping. Do you guys still do daily housekeeping in the long stays?
so it was based on the preference of the guests.
Okay.
Of course, everybody used to take daily room service. It was always about the linen, if the linen has to be changed or not on a
Mhm.
daily basis,
Yeah.
because many of them were very much conscious about the nature and preserving the nature. So they always had a choice whether they should change the linen and send it down for washing again, because all these detergents and everything which we use, so much of chemical waste gets generated. So it's the hotels always had given that choice to the guests. If they don't want to get the linen changed, it is up to them. So with all the long shares, we always had a conversation in the very beginning, where we used to capture all their preferences. And at times guests, at the very first go, doesn't tell you each and everything, because they themselves don't realize.
Of
So
course.
within that period of time, being a housekeeper, you actually have to notice that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't say, hey, they've always not wanted something, because they may have decided that they did want something. And by the
Right.
way, just to make a point, just to make it, but a lot of people, when they think of waste, they think of material waste. And water consumption and water waste is a real problem, a real challenge. Environmentally,
Right.
there are places where I'm familiar with places that don't have the ability to handle wastewater. And so they have to truck all their wastewater out, which causes even more of an environmental impact. So not only do you have the wastewater, but then you have the transportation of moving and transporting wastewater. All that is to say, if you have the option of reusing your towel in a hotel, reuse your towel in a hotel. Reuse it. You would do it at home. Don't waste the water.
That's always good.
My little
So
environmental tip of the day.
yeah, we are using it for a good cause.
Yeah.
So from the Leela Gurgaon, I then joined JW Marriott Aerocity, New Delhi. It was a pre-opening project which I entered at that point of time as an assistant manager housekeeping. So I got a position there, and it was a different
Marriott's a great
experience.
hotel chain too, right? I said Marriott. Marriott
Pardon?
is a great hotel chain.
Exactly. With
Yeah.
Marriott, it
Yeah.
was my first, association that I joined JW Marriott Aerocity. It was a 523 room hotel coming up near the Delhi International Airport.
523 rooms?
Yeah, that was really huge.
Massive. Massive.
Really, it
Right next to
was.
right next to
So
the airport.
near to the international airport.
So does that
So
mean
with that,
does that mean that I apologize. Does this mean that you had an awful lot of turnovers daily?
yes, there were
Yeah.
two floors which were dedicatedly given to groups for just the group turnarounds, and
Mm-hmm.
two floors which were dedicated to FITs, which we were getting on a daily basis. So the turnaround was huge in number. And of course, with such a big room inventory, we did not open the entire room inventory at one go. It happened phase by phase. As in when we kept on getting the handover from the project, we kept on releasing the floors, and we you know opened our room inventory accordingly. So
Yeah.
it was a very different experience, because being pre-opening, you see your product from zero to finally becoming a finished product. You have to do a lot of coordination with project team. You have to do snagging, de-snagging, receive all the material you have ordered, store it, then start putting that in rooms, you know uh, make that from mock-up room to getting the floors ready, and then finally the public area transformation also has to happen. So a lot of cleaning work, floor scrubbing again and again, day in and night. It happened, and then finally, when it the hard work pays off, when you get your first guest, it's a different experience altogether.
So great. So great. I love that you were able to start in your first hotel and it was an opening. So you had the experience of building it and then servicing it. Such a great
Right.
experience.
Right. So I think this was one of the best landings with JW Marriott, and I worked for more than 2 years with the same brand, and then I moved to Taj. If you probably know, Taj is one of the leading Indian hotel chains in India.
Hmm.
So I joined Taj Bengal, Kolkata.
Is this where you got promoted?
Yeah, I got promoted. I got deputy housekeeper position, so I moved to
Hmm.
this group,
Yep.
and it was another luxury hotel in Kolkata, which is capital of West Bengal state.
Very
So
nice.
uh, here also, I think learned a lot of experience enhancing culture and ways and methods of enhancing the guest experience. Another very different experience, because as a deputy housekeeper, you have to handle the entire department. You need to have good people management skills, which definitely got enhanced, there while working with Taj Bengal. And yeah, it was altogether very different. Although this hotel had was 25 years old when I was working there, so in terms of engineering and maintenance handling, there had to be a very very good approach. And by the time I was working in that hotel, the renovation also started to happen, so I could also participate in getting a few rooms renovated there. So the renovation, I think, for any housekeeper to learn more about housekeeping, if somebody is able to witness renovation, is able to contribute in that, it gives you another you know different learning.
Yeah, I agree. I love the idea of upgrading your space
Yeah.
and which also will inevitably upgrade your employee base, your staff, and not get new staff, but a refreshed approach, a refreshed idea, a refreshed
Right.
outlook. And people don't appreciate, I fear, people don't appreciate how important it is, how important your surroundings is to your overall health and well-being. You feel better as a person if you're going to work in a clean, beautiful, well lit, well respected environment, as
Yeah.
opposed to the opposite of that.
Right. Right. In fact, the aesthetics, uh, you have to closely coordinate with the architect, because at few points he will ask you for your input, and you as a guest have to do a simulation of your room and see if any inconvenience is causing, for example, if I place a coffee table which is very close to my bed, and if there is no leg space, there is it's creating some sort of an obstruction, or probably the height of the coffee table is not really good, and the lounger and the coffee table is not being aligned with regards to their height. then all those things, nitty gritties, have to be noticed and then coordinated, and you have to get the perfect uh, product out, in the market.
I think that is, we do that a lot in healthcare too. A lot of healthcare architecture. I've
Yeah,
seen one of the funnest things I've seen was the architects had put up a plan. They made like a large plan of the new addition of the hospital, and they put it on the wall, and they asked for input. And every person who worked there, housekeepers, doctors, nurses, administration, they would go up and they would find their own space, and they would be like, oh, that doesn't make sense, or you need a sink here, or this door is not going to open for, because an architect only has one view. And so
yeah.
it's so valuable to ask you guys to be, pseudo guests.
Exactly. Simulation is very important. You need to
Yeah.
experience it yourself before you present it to your guest, so that the guest doesn't have to tell you the basics. So, and once you approve an architect, you have approved a blueprint, rooms are being made in the same fashion. Later on, you cannot change that. So, you have
Yeah.
to do simulation in the very beginning.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. And so how did you get from there to where you are now?
Yeah, so from Taj, I came back and joined Leela. Leela has got 3 properties in Delhi. So I joined another property of Leela, again as a deputy housekeeper, another very big hotel with 480 rooms and with 70,000 square feet of convention space, which was
Wow.
the second biggest in India. So I joined another property of Leela after Taj, worked there for 1.5 year, and then I got my first assignment with Westin, which is Marriott, once again, Westin Pune, as an executive housekeeper. So I moved
Love
to
it.
Pune, worked there. That was my first assignment, so it's always memorable. The hotel architect was in the form of a cruise ship, and it had a river flowing just next to it. Very beautiful hotel. And
Wow.
there, after working there, I moved to Westin, another beautiful property of Westin, which was a resort. So resort is entirely different from a
Yeah,
business hotel.
Westin resorts are nice too. They're really nice.
Yeah. So I joined Westin Sona Resort. From Westin Sona Resort, I joined Crown Plaza Gurugram as my third assignment as an executive housekeeper. I'm currently with Crown Plaza Gurugram, which is a 234-room hotel. Very beautiful hotel. It has got 2 restaurants, 1 bar, spa, gymnasium, pool, and all the facilities which any five-star hotel would provide. Uh, and definitely in these COVID times, we are committed to all our guests, and we are committed towards IHG Clean Promise, wherein we assure the guests of very high standards of cleanliness.
Yeah, IHG has always been a real big proponent of not only clean but transparency. They've always been such a great hotel chain. They're big here in the US as well. IHG chains.
It
Really
is.
great.
I take a lot of pride while working for this group. And our hotel, Crown Plaza Gurugram, is also a very beautiful hotel. It has got a very nice lobby, and we get a lot of repeat guests in our hotel. Uh, we are one of the best hotel, one of the safest hotel when it comes to cleanliness. And I wish I could have shared with you the guest reviews which we received. Those are all phenomenal. Guests say a lot about our cleanliness, and we have already set a very high benchmark for ourselves. So we have to overachieve it year by year.
Yeah, that's the thing with guest reviews is they every single day it makes a difference.
Exactly, and it gives you a lot of pride, and it gives you a lot of smiles also. The team gets motivated, I think, mostly by the guest reviews which comes, especially when guest also mentions the name of the associate who was servicing the room.
1,000,000%. And that, again, is a little public service announcement for those of us who travel a lot and stay in hotels. If you can get the housekeeper's name it's better than a tip. To write down a
Right.
thank you specifically to that housekeeper, specifically to that person. If you see them in the hallway, if you notice that the hotel is really clean, the carpets are clean, the public bathrooms are really great, stop the housekeeper and say, "I love what you guys are doing here." You can totally tell how great of a job you're doing.
Exactly.
Super powerful.
There are a lot of guests who leave a note. In fact, we place a clean promise card on the bedside table, which is a note, as an assurance to the guest that the room has been, disinfected and cleaned very well. So the guest leaves a note for the housekeeping that you guys have done a fantastic job. And sometimes when we receive that, it really makes your day.
Agreed.
And
Hey, let's talk. I apologize. We don't have a lot of time left,
yeah,
and I just want to talk about a couple of things. So first,
sure,
I just want to talk about COVID and to
yeah.
find out how it was COVID changed the way you guys clean or approach clean and dirty. How has it affected how you approach customers? Can you talk about that at all?
Sure. So basically, post COVID, the entire cleanliness was the main focus area, both for the hotel and for the guests also. And with us at Crown Plaza Gurugram, we took a lot of steps in ensuring that the guests feel safe, and this enemy of ours, which is not visible, which is a virus, has to be the only way out to disinfect and to get rid of that is to disinfect all your high touch points, which
Mm-hmm.
we started doing. So the disinfection, the high touch point schedule got made. We identified all the high touch points. Okay, the grab bar, the telephone, the house phones, which probably guests use at times. You
Mm-hmm.
know, all those high touch point area got identified. Then there was a schedule made. After every hour, the trash bin has to be disinfected. The fixtures of the washroom has to be disinfected. Even the F&B started disinfecting each and every table before it gets occupied. We started placing tags on all the tables, whether if it's a sanitized table, a tag got placed on it that it's a sanitized table. Then the guests also, we cannot every time tell the guests or probably, you know uh, tell him again and again that this is sanitized. So it acts as a communication way of communicating with the guests. So that came into picture. We got signages placed, social distancing signages placed in all the public areas. Floor markers got fixed so that a 6 feet distance can be maintained between all the guests. We installed sanitizer stations, automated one in all the areas at different levels. So at any, for example, near to the guest elevator area, we have a sanitizer station on all the floors, also as well as on the lobby level or upper lobby level, all across on the entrance of our coffee shop. So that came into picture. Now we started providing clutter-free rooms to our guests. Earlier, you would have seen that so many collaterals used to be placed in all the hotel rooms. So we removed all the collaterals, the items such as runners and cushions which were kept on the bed, right? Those were removed. The minibar is given on request. It is not
Mm-hmm.
pre-stocked, right? Then the contactless delivery also came into the picture. We had put tables outside each and every room, and
Yeah.
so whenever there is in-room dining coming or housekeeping going to give any requested amenity to the guest, you can just ring the bell, keep yourself at a distance of 6 feet, place your
Mm-hmm.
tray on the table outside the room. Guest is very happy to help himself in picking up the item from the tray and provide this delivery. And you do not give it with bare hands, of course. You have to wear all the ppe kit items. You need to have
Mm-hmm.
gloves, face shield, face mask. This is basic ppe, you cannot miss on
Mm-hmm.
this. uh, and the
Are you
item
guys
yeah.
are you guys starting to see Any lessening of the restrictions? Are you guys getting better, or is it still the same?
In terms of what terms, Ralph?
Yeah, no, just in terms of in cases of COVID, are you guys starting to fare better with it, or is it still pretty much the same as it been?
No, the situation has drastically improved.
Oh, good.
Vaccination has been happening in our country
Excellent.
on a very rapid pace, and
Good.
I myself have got vaccinated already, and
Excellent.
it's now recently, government is gonna go to do the vaccination door to door. So it is
Wonderful. I'm
on
vaccinated too. I'm vaccinated too.
great.
So we're good. We're good.
Right. So I think these are tough times, but everyone has taken a learning out of it, and we'll be very soon. We'll very soon overcome this with our more and more awareness, with more being more conscious about the virus, which is invisible. You need to take all the precautionary measures. That's the best you can do.
Yeah. Yeah. No
So with
question.
those, yeah,
Yeah, that's so I'm happy to hear that I'm happy to hear all the steps that you took, because it sounds like it's the same sort of steps that we've seen everywhere, just trying to do our best to do two things. Ensure, like, kind of make sure everybody knows that we are cleaning and disinfecting the high touch areas especially. And then the second thing is figuring out how to allow our customers, our guests, to be able to get the same level of service while maintaining some distance, which has been
exactly.
super important as well. I just have one more topic I'd love to just pick your brain about before we get out of here, and that's about staffing. I don't know if you know, but in the United States now, we are really having a problem getting people to come to work in, well, nearly every field, but housekeeping especially. Are you guys feeling that same thing? Do you guys, how's the unemployment where you are? Do you have a problem getting staff? Do you have call out issues?
Not really, I would say, because as long as you
I'm
assure
moving
your
to India. Nope, that's it. I'm moving to India. That's it. I'm packing my bags. Not really. I'm moving to India.
you're most welcome. Yeah, again.
So you don't have staffing
So
issues.
no, honestly, no, not here in my hotel, at least I can assure. Because see, I have taken few steps from my side to assure my team that this is an invisible enemy. You cannot there is no place to hide, right? You cannot go and hide, and then you cannot think that you'll not be attacked. So the only thing required is that you take all the precautions. You take all the precautions, you sanitize your hands, you maintain your immunity to that extent that even if it touches you, it just touches you and it goes. So for now, the priority remains getting vaccinated as soon as possible, and I think we are very much the wave 2, which came, is already going, and we'll be very well prepared before any further COVID attack happens. So we'll be very well prepared in that way.
Yeah, that's super smart and insightful on your part. I remember when it was, when COVID was first coming out and it was becoming to be a big problem. The idea that there was no place to run and hide. Instead, it was much better to put on some PPE, maintain some distance, take good care of yourself and others. That was a big challenge to even wrap your head around, because none of us had ever experienced something so costly, so deadly, and so invisible all at the same time.
Exactly. Nobody would have ever thought about this. And you can not blame anyone that not prepare for something. It was meant as a surprise for everyone. And with time, everybody has learned and modified their ways of working. Uh, and I think people have evolved from this, and they are much better as a human being and as a professional after this has passed.
So great. So great. I thank you so much for coming on and spending some time with me today. I have thoroughly enjoyed our conversation, and it is so super clear to me after this conversation why you are in the position you're in, why you are the executive housekeeper, why IHG has put their trust in you. It is so evident. So evident. It's so
Thank you.
impressive. You're very
Thank you so
impressive.
Thank you so much, Ralph, and it is a great pleasure talking to you, to such a personality like you, who has been so experienced in housekeeping. It was very good talking to you.
It's very nice talking to you. And I got to say, on another note, just your English is amazing.
Thank you so much. I was a little nervous though, as I've never been into a live conversation with anyone. But I think, yeah, I did a pretty nice job, I believe, if you are saying so.
You did a fabulous job. I'm very impressed because I have been learning Spanish for a couple of years now, and I could not hold the conversation like you did in Spanish. And what is your native language? Is it Hindu?
Yeah, it is Hindi.
Yeah.
So the only Spanish word which I learned from my sister is hola,
Hola.
because
Me
in
too.
Costa Rica she speaks much fluent Spanish, of course, and I'm learning a little bit from her.
I'm using Duolingo. Have you ever heard of Duolingo? It's a little app learning
Okay.
platform, and I love it. I love it. It's. Of course, I'm not conversation at anything, but I do enjoy the vocabulary lessons.
Great.
Anyway, this has been a real joy, real pleasure of meeting you, Pankaj.
Yeah. Pankaj, yeah, you are right.
Pankaj, thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to log off, but don't you leave yet. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Housekeepers podcast. This has been, well, you know what this has been? This has been proof that if you put in the work, if you want to be a manager, it takes education, it takes experience, it takes mentorship, it takes learning. And if you're willing to do that, it takes creativity. I mean, he won a flower arrangement contest. And by the way, he wasn't a flower arranger. To say that I'm impressed would be an understatement. If you would like to learn more about what it takes to be an effective manager, if you've ever thought about being a housekeeping manager, please consider joining us at the Housekeeping Leadership Academy. It is the best of both worlds. We have both training videos, training information on housekeeping management, and we have live mentoring. We have a weekly call every Thursday, live mentoring for housekeeping managers by housekeeping managers. Greatest thing, housekeeping leadershipacademy.com. Hope you join us. Otherwise, let me sign off and say once again, thank you, Pankaj. I can see why everyone is so blessed to have you as their leader over there in India. And I am very excited to be now calling you my personal friend. And so with that, the Housekeeping Podcast, Pankaj Peterson. See you guys later. Let me log off. And